Oh, right, two people are in already. Wow, not normally people in. Oh, I haven't been the last few weeks for a few minutes really. So, hi George. Anyway, don't know who else is in, but it says there's someone else in. I'll try and pop in when live ad, but quite busy. Aren't we all? My God, aren't we all? Jeez, today is crazy. Um, yeah, it's been quite busy the last few days, really. I mean, it's one of them weeks, isn't it, where it's just everything's busy. I've had to-do lists this week, big long to-do lists, and morning. What you on about, Andrew? It's afternoon, isn't it? 12:47. Yeah, so it's just been one of them weeks where just lots of to-do lists, lots of things to do, lots of things going on. Stuck on a train, so we'll be in and out like a popsicle. I don't like where that was going, Andrew. I really don't. I don't know whether you meant that as a euphemism, but knowing you, probably. Sales are picking up nicely. Love it. Well, a lot of people, including myself, I won't moan too much about it, but a lot of people have been saying about sales being slow and everything, and it's just up and down. I mean, you would think with the weather, sales would be pretty good, but it turns out, yeah, well, not been for me, so I don't know. I know Steve, I'm watching Steve's video now, episode 798, 789 even. And yeah, he's saying about his sales being slow. Good afternoon, ads and chat. Oh yeah, that's Gary coming in. I always get Gary and Sean mixed up because they've got the same little standard icon thing, same little orange one, so I always get them mixed up. Oh, I've got quite a few people popped in already. The last few weeks have been weird. The last few weeks it's taken about 10-15 minutes to get everyone in. I don't know why that is, but today we're only on 2 minutes and there's already 12 people in here, so I don't know, it's weird. Time Tunnel Toys UK, good to finally get to watch one of your live chats. Oh, thank you very much. I often, every couple of weeks I have another person, another new person join on. So yeah, millionaire militaria, hi there. I know you've been commenting on a few of my videos recently, so thank you very much. Chris is in. Hi there, Chrissy. I forgot to say hi before. Yeah, so if you got any questions, you know the drill. If you got any questions, drop them in the chat. If not, then I'll just ramble a little bit, and you know the drill. I'll just ramble, basically. Just basically ramble about anything. What can I say first off? I normally have a little opening piece, don't I? Yeah, so it's been busy this week. Been getting bits and bobs done. Trying to get out there a little bit and make some more plans socially. Meeting someone next week. I'm thinking of meeting. I'm not sure, but I've been given the opportunity, if I would like to meet up with a few friends from college, university kind of thing, back when I was in college and university. So I've been given the opportunity to do that, so I might do that. Gonna be very anxious if I do it, but I've been given the opportunity to do it, so I would like to do it to be more social. So yeah, other than that, been busy trying to get some more social stuff in, and that's the gist of it really. Selling, buying, you know the drill. And I've said you know the drill 3 times on this live stream already. It's gonna be the thing of the day. That is there a topic for today? No, there is not. I told you a few weeks back I'm not bothering with topics anymore because it's just pointless. I've just not got topics. I've done too many of these shows and I've done all the blooming topics in the book, so there's no way I can bother. I can bother doing topics. We've got Corey in the chat. Hi there, Corey. Don't think there's any other questions or anything quite yet. Steve needs to get stock. Does he need to get stock? Really? Oh my god. He needs to go down the auctions then, because I'm bloody got abundance of it at the moment. Jesus, I've got my lockup is, I'd say it's probably almost fuller than it's ever been at this point, and I just, I mean, it's not too hard to get stock really. I mean, I could get like tons. All I do is one auction every month. Well, if there's an auction, if there's 2 in that month, I'll do 2. occasionally I'll do 3, but for the last couple of months I've only really been doing 1. And then what else have I been doing? I go around the charity shops as I normally do, and then I do the odd car boot. But if I applied myself, my God, I could do. There's about 4 auction houses around, I don't know, distance of 30 mile or something. I could do like 5, 6 auctions a month, something like that. Then car boots every week, then charity shops. But I just don't need it. I honestly, I wouldn't be able to list the stuff fast enough if I did that. And my cash flow would just get proper tied up. But yeah, I mean, it's not too bad to find stock. You just gotta go out there and find as many opportunities as you can. Auctions for me I just like doing auctions because I'm lazy, and I'll be the first to admit that I'm bloody lazy, and I like just going online, click on my mouse, get about 20 odd boxes, go down there, whack them all back, get them in my lockup, and then I'm done for a few weeks. And that's how I like to roll. I don't like, I used to get up to the car boots and go around, and it is fun. I have to admit, going around the car boots is fun, but it's just, why do they have to be on at 6 o'clock? Why can't we? Whoever invented that, and I know I've moaned about this before, but who the hell invented the idea that car boots have to start at 6 o'clock? I don't get it. I just don't get it. Why can't they start at like 10 o'clock or 1 o'clock or, I don't know, 10 o'clock is fine, but God, not bloody 6 o'clock, But, I mean, it's funny enough, I'm moaning about that, but every day I get up at 6 o'clock. Today I got up at 5:48 or something? Well, I actually woke up at 5:10, but then I sort of just in bed, you know what I mean? Going in and out of sleep, not sure whether I'll get back to sleep and stuff. You know the drill. And there we go, the drill again. I don't intentionally do this. This is just happening. So yeah. I woke up at 5:48, and I do that most days, between anywhere between 5:45 and 7 o'clock, but it's usually about 10 past, 20 past 6. But so I can't, I don't know why I'm complaining about that, but I just can't be bothered. I suppose also it's just the going down there. So if I can't be bothered going down there, because at an auction you've got a good chance of getting at least a good bit. A car boot, if the weather's a little bit off, or maybe something's, maybe it's not been advertised as well or something, you go down there, you might only get a handful of bits. But at an auction, generally, bar the odd rarity, you're gonna get a few boxes. Yes, okay, there's gonna be 1 or 2 auctions a year where you might not get hardly anything, but most of the time you're gonna be able to get a fair bit. So I'm like, do I really want to spend the effort of going down there, and then it's like I get 3 items or something, 4 items, and then that's it. Of course there are car boots that I'm pretty safe with, there's like Chelford and where else, Blakemere and stuff. You will get a few bits regardless, but whether it's going to be a proper score or not is another thing. But with an auction, generally I feel a little bit more safer. But yeah, so I kind of just stopped doing the car boots for quite a while, but I am definitely gonna try doing them again. Maybe it's raining at the moment. God, this rain, it's gone on for ages, hasn't it? It's like it's been I don't know. It's been 3 or 4 days of solid rain. It's not raining now, I don't think, but it's been fairly unbroken rain for 3 or 4 days, and then little breaks here and there. I think it was Monday, was it? But it was raining all day, and then it rained overnight as well. I don't know. Maybe it was Tuesday. Oh, low battery. 1 sec. I better get me charger. But yeah, so where's the charger? Oh, it's in here. But yeah, so I've got another lead with this as well. But yeah, but it's been about 5 or 6 days that it's been raining, but it's been pretty poor. 1 sec. Here we go. Boom. There we go. Right, that should be okay now. So yeah, so doing the car boots at the moment isn't brilliant anyway. Who have we got in the chat? We've got loads of people chatting today. We're up to 25 viewers already. What's going on? What's going on? If I go full time, I will be hammering the boot and the auctions. Yeah, I mean, I just, as I say, I'm just lazy. I should be doing the car books, but I'm just lazy. But also, I've got so much to do. You know, I've got so. I say I'm lazy, right? This is the thing. This is the contradiction of me, and those who have watched the channel for a while will know this full well. I say I'm lazy, but I'm really not lazy. I mean, look at the amount of content I produce. Look at, I'm doing fairly decent listings. I'm trying to read when I can to expand my knowledge on other subjects like philosophy and psychology and all the rest of it. I've got my other philosophy channel. I've got my merch going. I've got my website. I've got, just the general day-to-day running of my business. I'm trying to be social with people. So I think there's something else as well that I do. There is something else I do, isn't there? Maybe not. I don't know. I think there's something else I do that I forgot that I do it. But no. So I'm really not lazy. But when it comes to certain things, I am lazy, and that is if it takes me too much time to do stuff. If it takes me too much time to get stock, I'm not gonna do it. I'm just gonna be like, right, come on. Let's be real here. Let's get a bit of efficiency. I know how I want it. I've been doing this 4 years now. I want to go online, do the auction. I want to get 20 boxes of stock in 3 hours or 4 hours worth of work, including the collecting time. Get it back to the lockup, done, sorted for a few weeks, So if it takes me a lot of time to do something, I'm not doing it. The only few things I make the exception for is sometimes I make the exception for editing when I'm editing videos. If I can't quite get it right, I mean, yesterday or the day before was a prime example. I couldn't quite get something right, and it was so annoying me. And I spent about 3 or 4 hours exporting it, and then not being happy with it, and then redoing bits and exporting it again. And it still didn't turn out. I'm still not 100% happy with it, but it was a lot better than when it first started, And it's things like that, and you think, well, I shouldn't really spend the time on doing that even, but that's where I make the exception, because I like to be fairly conscientious with my YouTube. I don't know why that is. It's just something that I like to be. And also, I do try and spend a little bit more time on when I've got certain listings. I like to be a little bit more conscientious on the listings, and I do make sure I've got good condition note in there and stuff. On the slightly more higher value bits, on the lower end bits, I'm not going to be as conscientious, but on the higher end bits, then I will spend a little bit more time doing a little bit of, just being a little bit more professional with them, really. Right, let me go up. List as much as you can is pretty much the main secret to being full-time. Yeah, basically. I mean, everyone, you know what they all do? They all get these ebooks, and I'm a sucker for this, because, well, I'm not a sucker for it, but because it's weird today, actually. I was thinking about this. I thought, I was packing up this morning, and I've been enjoying packing up recently. Because I've been getting up earlier, and then I thought, oh well, I'll start packing in the morning, and I've really been enjoying. I have my little portable speaker, and I just blast that out, and I'm packing it. So, I don't know. It was, what time was it? 6:30 or something today, and I'm packing up and I'm loving it. It's really nice. I'm doing it every day, so, well, I won't do Saturdays, but because I've always not done, well, for a long time I've not packed up on Saturdays, but I do every other day. And, I'm really enjoying it. I'm getting into it. And I was thinking to myself when I was packing, you know what? There was a couple of things I was thinking of. I'd really like to do a video. Now, do you know those videos that on certain channels, and they're like information videos, and they're almost in a podcast format. So what I mean by that is that they put images on the screen, and then they zoom in very, very slowly on the images, and then the next image pops up while they're talking over it, and it's kind of like it is actually quite a professional informational video. And that's one of the styles of videos I've never done before. I've done a podcast, I've done, well, you know what I've all done. I don't need to recite them off. But, I've not done that video before. I thought, I'd really like, it would be a bit of a time sink, because I've got to get all the images, and I've got to get the right images. I've got to do my background research, and then I've got to, formulate some sort of nice cohesive, set of language or whatever, or conversation around it, and then just make sure it's nice and then publish it. But I thought that would be a really good video to do, and so I thought that when I was packing, I thought I could do it on the history of eBay. So I could do, I could do it as a podcast format, and then I could have a little image like eBay headquarters and it zooming in, and then go on to, talk about when it was established, who it was established by, that Omar guy or whatever he's called. I think it was in 1995. I think it's like the 25th anniversary. And then I could maybe talk about a little bit in depth about maybe when they changed over from auction to buy it now, or something like that, when they included buy it now. Then I could talk about when they, just little milestones and when they did certain things. And just put it into a nice informational video for people to hear, because those people who are really interested in reselling, like are really passionate about it, they're going to get a lot of, not necessarily love, but I was going to say love, but they're going to get a lot of knowledge and passion out of watching that video. So it would be nice to do something like that, and just kind of, it'd just be like, in one way, it'd be a labour of love. I mean, it would be a fairly hard video to do, because I would have to learn a lot more about the history of it. But it would be a nice video to do. So I had that idea, and I thought that would be nice, because, I've not done one of those videos. But then I also thought to myself, I thought, you know what, I've been having flirtations with this for a while. No, it isn't another human being. I'm not using flirtation in that way. I'm using flirtation in a different sense of the word. But I've been having flirtations with the idea, I'll have you know, of doing an ebook for a while. And I've been thinking, I'll do an ebook for a while, and I could pad it out. I could get, I don't know how many pages. How many pages is an ebook? 20 pages or something, 30 pages. It's not like a 100-pager, is it? Don't tell me it's 100-pager. I suppose it can be any length you want, but I think like 20, 30 pages or something. And then do it, or I might actually need more than that for what I want to cover, but do it, like a really good eBay guide, all coming from, not all coming from my experience, but a bit coming from my experience, empirical evidence, based on my experiences, random facts and stuff in there, and maybe something about how to go about sourcing stock if you don't know how to go about sourcing stock. And I don't want it just to be, if I did it, I don't want it just to be an informational booklet for new resellers. I want it to have some solidarity in there for experienced resellers as well, people who've been doing this a few years, like my sort of level, and maybe I could pull a little bit of information or help from other more experienced resellers who I could then credit in the end of the book, and just do that really, and do a nice little ebook. But the problem with doing something like that is, of course, I am going to have to charge for it, because there's no way I'm going to sink X amount of time into it and do it to the standard that I want to do it, and not charge for it. I've always said that if I did do an ebook, I would charge the minimum amount I possibly can for it, because I don't, it's weird. I am a businessman, and I thought this morning when I was rolling around in bed, I thought, rolling around in bed, no, Andrew! But, no, so I thought this when I was rolling around in bed, because I was tossing and turning because I didn't get back to sleep, not because of anything else. Not that there's anyone in my bed with me, but yeah, so I was turning around thinking, I've lost my train of thought now. And I was thinking, I'm not a businessman, really, because I thought to myself, I'm not very good at selling. I'm really not very good at selling. I could sit here and I could do the worst pitch for talking you out of buying my ebook. I could say, well, I'm not going to charge much for it because I don't want to rip people off. I'm going to put a lot of effort into it, but you probably don't need to read it. You've probably got a lot of experience yourself. Because I'm so, I suppose in that way, I'm quite high in agreeableness in terms of actually agreeing with other people. And therefore, I suppose it puts me at a disadvantage because I'm less, not that selling is malicious in any way, but I'm less aggressive. That's the word. I'm less aggressive with how I can sell things to people. And if you're a businessman, you need to have a little bit of that, not necessarily full-blown manipulation, but a little bit of a manipulative side, or a little bit of a aggressive side, or an assertive side, to be able to really get your product. How people claim to that products do. Maybe just exaggerate a little bit more on what products can do and stuff, and then that you end up getting sales that way. But you've got a good businessman only exaggerates a tiny little bit because he wants the person to still be happy with the product, but if he wants to get the sale, it's kind of like it's a double-edged sword really, because what you can do is you can either do under promise, over deliver, which is great, but it's not really a good sales tactic because you're not presenting the product in its full light. Or you could do slightly over exaggerate, get the sales in, but just over exaggerate only a tiny bit so that then people don't feel cheated or anything like that. So fine, like there's two things you can do really. But yeah, so this would be my pitch. I'd be like, right, well, I've done an ebook, guys. You know, I've spent a lot of time in it. I've really padded it out, all the rest of it. It's going to be X price. I don't know why I've put 5 up. Maybe it's going to be a 5, I don't know. But you know, it's going to be X price. I'm not going to charge a bomb for it. You know that anyway. But you know, it's going to be X price. If you want to buy it, I've put this and that in there. I'll give you a few teasers maybe. And then, you know, go ahead and buy it. But that's not a very good sales pitch, you see. I'm not, as I say, I'm not it's funny, I'm not a businessman in that way. I'm not a very good seller. I'm brilliant at demonstrating what I've learned, reflecting upon what I've learned, and providing information on what I've learned to other people. Sometimes, okay, yeah, in certain videos I'm not as good with it, you know, in terms of presentation style, but if I really am on it one day, I can do it really, really well. So yeah, I'm brilliant with that, but when it actually comes to selling things, I'm not that brilliant. So it's weird, but yeah. Anyway, let me go up the chat. Oh, Money Mental's at 6:01. My God, that's crazy. Oh, Ads is tossing in bed again. No, I'm not. I thought you were. Well, yeah, I was, but not in that way. Wow, everyone's getting up in subs, aren't they? Hey, George is over 2K now. KLC's over 500. Wow. Richard here, where do you source your car parts from? Why would Richard tell you where he sources his car parts from? That's like literally just him giving away his source. It's like people ask me, and occasionally, if I know them, you know, or I've had a conversation with them before, occasionally I will give out the information. But some people say to me, "Oh, where do you go online to do your auctions?" Now I've done video. I think I've done maybe one video or so. Oh, have I done a video? I don't think I have done a video actually. But if I have done a video on it, I've cut out the website, you know, because I don't necessarily want people knowing what website I use to go to the auction, because I'm shooting myself in the foot if I do that. I know damn well a lot of you will know which auction house I go to, so I've already kind of shot myself in the foot a little bit. But I won't blatantly say, oh, I use this website to everyone, because then they're going to be like, oh, well, I'm going to go on here and I'm going to go on all your local auctions, and then, you know, if I wanted to go to another auction house, which, you know, I have done in the past, I'm then inviting my competition at other auction houses as well, you know, so I'm like, oh, great. So I occasionally get out that information, but I won't just give it out directly, and people really don't have any sort of initiative these days, because literally you just go on Google and type in, well, I'm not even going to say what you type in, because then you'll get it, but you know, it's not hard. Just go on Google, run a few searches, and you will find what you're looking for. It really is not hard these days. Everything's out there for you. You know, this site I'm talking about, they do paid advertising themselves, so it's not like it's not getting themselves out there. You know, it's not like they're not getting themselves out there. So yeah, just have a bit of initiative, go out there, look around, and you'll find what you're looking for. But I don't necessarily like just handing it to people on a plate. I know that I'm somewhat contradictory or hypocritical when I say it, because I'm very well aware that in the past I've given it out, you know, and just, you know, just giving it out blatantly, you know, said, there you go, there's the information. And I've had mixed opinions on sharing for a long time. You know, some days, some weeks I've said, oh, you know, I'm going to share, and I'm going to share all this, and I don't mind sharing. And then other weeks or other months I've said, well, I don't like sharing. You know, I'm not, my opinions on it have changed. I did a video, actually, I think it was on Thursday Talks, where I mentioned that my opinions on sharing have changed, and then before that I was more open to sharing. You know, it's one of these topics that keeps cropping up again and again and again, and it's whether you want to, it's how much you want to share, really. So, anyway, I just saw a super chat pop up. You know, weirdly, I don't even know why this was, but I've not had a super chat in ages, and for some reason I was cooking my lunch today, and I thought, I reckon I'm going to get a super chat today. I kid you not. I don't even know why I thought that, so thank you very much anyway, Corey. It's nice to see that little bit of blue come up, because I've not had it for so long, so yeah, I really do appreciate it, Corey. My blooming AdSense revenue was low last month because my views were bloody low. Oh, don't get me started. I tell you, if you want to create a YouTube channel, you better be prepared for bloody not much money, you know? I've always said that. Well, I think I have always said that, actually. But yeah, so, what was I saying about sharing? So, yeah, it's one of those things, you've got to be careful. I mean, I don't mind sharing too much about the antiques, because really, a lot of the... Yeah, okay, there's similar things. So, for example, brass candlesticks and silver plate and da-di-da-di-da-di-da. So, you know, there's certain things that are not brilliant, you know, that aren't... that they're so generalist in the antique world that you're going to come across some sort of competition for them if you share. But there's other things in antiques and collectibles that just aren't that general. So even if you give the information out there, people aren't going to come across, you know, they're not going to come across those items that regularly, so it's not too bad. Corey says, £58 in 28 days, can't retire. I'm about the same, actually. I think I'm about 52 or so. I don't know. I'm a bit less than that, though, so it's, yeah, it's ridiculous. Last month, I was 44 quid in 28 days. I remember December or November, I was almost hitting 100 quid a month. You know, I was like, yeah, this is great. I'm like 100 quid, and that's not including my Amazon Associates, which I hardly get anything for these days. But you know, I was like, yeah, I'm getting like 100 quid. This is awesome. But then it just went right. It tanked in like. Well, it does tank in January anyway, that's quite common. But, well, not tank, but, you know, it goes down. But then, it really went down. And it was mainly because of me, because I changed up my content. And, you know I could get up to about 100 quid a month easy if I just did more car boot videos and charity shop videos and stuff, which I probably will do in a little bit, because I need to keep up a little bit of that revenue. But, yeah, I just don't bother doing tons of them. I just like doing whatever videos I'm gonna do, you know. But I wouldn't just like to do all charity shop or all car boot hunting videos, even if it would get me a lot of money, because I'm like, yeah, but I get bored of doing them. So I like variety, but I could easily get it back up to that 80, 90, 100 quid a month, and that'd be good, to be honest. I mean, 100 quid a month, it doesn't sound like a lot, but you know, it's a fair bit, and it's something I'm doing anyway. I'm doing YouTube regardless. I mean, I have my philosophy channel. I'm doing videos on that channel, even though I don't get paid for it. I'm one of those people who, you know, when people say I'm addicted to YouTube, or I can't stop doing YouTube videos, or I'm gonna do it for X amount of time. I'm just one of those people who I'm just gonna do it. You know, it doesn't matter. Even if my channel got demonetized, I'd still do videos. It would be a lot harder, because I'd be like, well, I can't really spend too much time on it, but I would still do 1 or 2 videos, and I've said that for a while. I've thought to myself, you know, would I do it, wouldn't I? And I definitely would. So, yeah. Anyway, what was I talking about? Never understand what you guys are so obsessed with likes and dislikes. It makes it zero difference to YouTube, but I don't really care these days. Like, I've had a group of haters, or maybe one hater who's on like 7 different accounts and dislikes me on all like 7 or 8 different accounts or whatever. But I've had that for weeks. I mean, I put my heart, well, I say I put my heart and soul. I put effort into that charity shop video that I did a few days ago. What was it? That how I make money at charity shop. And don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining. The views on it were brilliant. I was really happy with you know, generally people's response to it. But then I get 13 dislikes to 43 or likes or whatever. And I'm like, really? Come on, that was quality content. I put good effort in, especially the vlog part. I did good transitions. I got my timing right. I gave people what they wanted to see in just enough of the charity shops. I gave people a nice ratio of talking to music. I did everything by the bloody book, yet I get 13 dislikes. So, I think personally that it's a few people, it's a handful of people, maybe 2 or 3 people who log into different accounts and give me more dislikes. Okay, yeah, maybe there was like 2 or 3 genuine dislikes on it, but it makes no sense that 13 people would dislike that video for the content, because that content was fine, that content was perfectly good. So these days I don't worry, like, yeah, okay, I notice it, but I don't worry about it massively, because I know at the end of the day I'm doing content that I can be proud of, and it doesn't matter what people think. I know that when I edit a video, I'm giving it, well, maybe not all the time, but certainly on the vlogs, I'm giving it all I can give. And if people aren't happy with that, then it doesn't matter, because at this point, I've given it all I can give in my part of it. Their part of it, the viewer's part of it, is to watch it. If you enjoy it, they enjoy it. If you don't enjoy it, they don't enjoy it. But I've given it my heart and soul. I've given it as much of me as I can. And that's all that matters now. And, I would have quit 2 or 3 years ago if I was going to have quit doing this. But now it's just, give me, I've had videos with way more dislikes than likes. Apparently, according to Louise, this video a minute ago had more dislikes than likes. So it's not, it doesn't bother me. And I used to associate, and this is something that's actually important to talk about, I used to associate it to my personality, because obviously I'm quite kooky, I'm quite eccentric. I used to think, oh, well, maybe people don't like me because I'm kooky or eccentric. But it simply isn't the case. So don't make yourself think that it's your personality that is making people walk away, because it's not necessarily that. Because I've done plenty of videos that are what I would class as mainstream vlog videos. There was none of my eccentric traits or quirks in there at all. I was very, very consistent. I was very centered. I was very mainstream in those videos, and the way I edited them was very mainstream, yet I still got loads of dislikes on them. So it just shows it's not necessarily to do with your personality, it's just some people either are trolls or really just don't have anything better to do with their time, essentially. So yeah, just don't worry about it. I know there's a lot of YouTubers in here actually today. We've got KLC, we've got Power Resign, we've got Andrew, we've got quite a few actually. Sorry to hear that. Well, it doesn't. It's all right. It's fine. I would say a long time ago I kidded myself into thinking, I think I went through a transitional period. So at first I was getting plenty of likes on my videos when I first started. Brilliant. Everything was going fine. Then I got some trolls, some haters, and then I was kidding myself into thinking, oh, it's okay, it's okay. Then I went through a period of being quite down. I actually got attacked by a few trolls about 2 years ago, and on every single video I got like the same amount of dislikes to likes, or maybe a few more likes than dislikes, but hardly any. And then I used to get comments in the comment section by the same 2 people, and I ended up blocking them in the end, but I got these comments and we kept coming back saying, stupid little things, but just little digs and stuff here and there. And then I felt really down with it. I spoke to a couple of friends on Instagram, and I was in a group ages ago with a couple of friends and, resellers. And they helped me through it, and they were really, really good with it. And then I started to think to myself, well, actually, you know what? I am bothered by trolls. I am bothered by dislikes. But then I got through that. Because then, after that time, it got a bit better for a little bit. Then the dislikers and the trolls came back again. Maybe not so much the trolls, but more just dislikers. And then, I thought to myself, well, I give up. I just give up. Look, if you want to dislike it. I give up. There's nothing I can do. There's nothing I can't do. And I can't do nothing. So what? There's no course of action for me to take. So seriously, just do what you're gonna do. I'm going to do what I'm going to do. But if you think you're stopping me at all, it's just not going to happen, because I've committed to this, I've committed to this now, and that's it, So it's like, really what's going to happen? So anyway, I'm 20 minutes over lunchtime here, lads. I'm hanging in for as long as possible. Hope you're appreciating this, mate. Yeah, thank you very much, Chris. Who else? I know I've missed a load of chat, so I apologise. Got Richard in the chat. Hello, Richard. After this video, I'm going to go back and like 10 of you. Oh, thank you very much, Corey. It is appreciated if you do. Come on, everyone. Let's leave ads a thumbs up. Thank you very much, Time Tunnel Toys. Some of my videos that rank high have more dislikes than likes. Tagging and watch time is what makes a difference. Likes and dislikes are just a start. Yeah, it is. It is. And you can turn them off, but you see the problem with turning them off, right, is you kind of, for me, you're kind of admitting defeat. I mean, if you're happy with that, if you're happy just to turn them off and it doesn't bother you, then that's fine. But for me, it's kind of like my integrity. It's well within my right to keep those dislikes and likes on, and that's my integrity, and I'm going to stick by it. And whatever the consequences from that, then so be it. If I get a load of dislikes, whatever. But that's my integrity. That's part of who I am, and I won't, I won't necessarily just let other people say, well, give me a load of dislikes just so I turn my likes and dislikes off. And then what they do is they come in the comment section and ridicule me, saying, oh, you've not got very big balls, have you, because you've turned your dislikes off and all this or whatever. So, I'm not getting into that. I'm just going to leave it, And of course, as you may be aware from this ramble, all these things have flowed through my mind from time to time, back quite a while ago, when I was feeling quite down with it and feeling like there's nothing I could do with it. But at this point, I'm just like, oh, but, doesn't matter. Charlie C3, likes, dislikes don't really matter at all. I don't think I've seen Charlie. Maybe I have one time in the chat. So anyway, hi there, if I haven't seen you. Wish the other YouTubers would listen to your wisdom. Well, I don't really have that much wisdom. It's just I've been doing it for quite a while now. And even before my reselling, I was doing the Vapor channel. And even before the Vapor channel, I was doing the Those Two Men channel. So, yeah, as I say, it's 6 years or so at this point of just doing YouTube. So, I just call on my experience, really, of it. And that's it. That's all I can do. Let me have a look. Or allows you to see what kind of videos work and don't work. Yeah, I suppose it does. Yeah, I mean, that is the one positive about dislikes. It does show you. I mean, for me, it's got to be sales updates for me perform the best in terms of likes, dislikes, but also the hunting videos, the charity shop hunting, car boot hunting. That's what people seem to like. It's been that way for quite a couple of years now. People seem to like those videos, and therefore, when I do a video that's a little bit different, or that's maybe not quite what people see, there are a genuine handful of people who just don't like it, because that's what they don't want to see, that sort of content. And that's perfectly fine as well. And it's just getting that balance between trying to do what your audience want, which I don't do enough of, and I do really genuinely want to try and change that, because I know a lot of my audience would want to see more vlogs. So, it's about getting that balance between what your audience wants you to see, and then what you want to produce. And there's a lot that I want to produce that I know my audience doesn't want to see. I know maybe 100 people want to see it, or 150 or 200 people, but I know that 800 people, or 1,000 people, or 1,500 wouldn't want to see it. So, it's kind of like, oof, what do you do? Do you do a bit of that? Do you do a bit of that? Do you, seems to me really a good ratio would be trying to do 60-70% of what the viewers want to see, maybe 30, I'd say about 70% of what the viewers want to see, 30% of what you want to put out there, maybe even a little bit more of what the viewers want to see, maybe 80%, but it just depends. But I'd say around that, and then a little bit of what you want to put out there, because at the end of the day, it's your channel, and you want to do what you want to do on it as well. So anyway, I'll quickly go up the chat. I normally hit the like before I even watch the video. I know a lot of people, I do that on other resellers channels, I'm like, yeah, like that. And I don't even, I just don't get it, like, why people click the dislike, to be honest. But I don't think, I think there's one video, one time, that I saw and I thought, oh God, no, I mean, I didn't dislike it because I don't dislike videos, but I thought to myself, you know, if I were a disliker of videos, I would be, you know, I'd be disliking this. And it was, I don't know whether it was racist or there was something very, very bad in it anyway that I didn't like, and it rubbed me up the wrong way. And but I still just clicked off a video. I didn't dislike it. Maybe I should have done, but I don't do it. I don't dislike. Because I just follow that mentality of, if you've not got anything nice to say, don't say it. Now, that's not to say that sometimes I don't have a little bit of banter with people or a little bit of a laugh, you know, in a little bit of a jest. But if I've not got anything nice to say that's genuine, you know, and all I can think of is genuine bad stuff, I try to restrict myself and just not say anything and just walk away or whatever. And, you know, I only know that from personal experience of saying the wrong thing so many times and then thinking, oh, I really shouldn't have said that, and, you know, like we all have from time to time. So, yeah, tipping it down here all day. I know, and it's terrible. It's ridiculous. Not Sean, Gary has got to go, so thanks for popping in anyway, Gary. I see Ads is now doing his own cooking videos. Well, I just thought I think I will do another cooking one on Instagram. I've got a little, what's it called? Oh, highlight. I forget what they're called. Highlight on Instagram for my cooking. I did a little vegetable noodly broth type thing on Instagram yesterday, and it's in my highlights. So if you want to go and follow me on Instagram, you know the drill. Down below, oh, I'm saying you know the drill again. Down below, adsrobo96, I think my handle is. So yeah, I generally do more. Well, I'd say I do more over on Instagram. I do a lot on this channel as well, but it's just extra content on Instagram, and it's a little bit more personal. So, you know, of course, I do on my stories some reselling stuff. You know, I show you how many I've listed each day and stuff like that some days. But also, I do some more personal stuff over there and just have a laugh with it. Really, it's a bit more informal. It's almost like a diluted version of Thursday Talks, but over on Insta. So it's not, you know, it's not like really professional quality or anything. But yeah, Ads, what are some of your high level goals for 2019? I don't know. I mean, one was just to read one book because I wanted to get into reading because there's a lot of stuff that I want to cover in a lot of books. And I thought, right, well, I'll read this book. And I won't set myself a crazy goal for it. I'll just say, right, I'll read this book. I'll enjoy this book. And, you know, if I get through it by the end of the year, then brilliant, because that's a bonus. But anyway, so I got through it. It probably took me 3 weeks. It wasn't a big book. It was only 200 pages. And it was only a very small book. But yeah, so I got through it and I was like, oh, I really enjoyed that. And I just read a few pages a night. I don't know. 14 days it was about 14 days. Must have been, what, 12, 13, 14 pages a night. And I thought, I'm really enjoying this. And I read it. And, yeah, and I thought, great, I've done that and I've learnt a lot. So I'm going to get on to my next one. So I said to myself, I'll just do that. But, oh no, it's just a notification. So yeah, I said to myself, I'll do that. And now I'm on to my second book. I've nearly finished my second book. So I suppose we'll just take it as it comes. If I could do anywhere between 5 and 10 books by the end of the year, that'd be brilliant. But I'm not putting a complete goal in it. And I'll explain some of my philosophy behind doing that. It's actually a good video to do on my philosophy channel. Maybe it's slightly hollow, but I need to pad it out a bit more. But the reason I don't fix goals onto reading, and I see so many people that do this, and it's one of them little bugbears of mine. I think, yeah, but come on, think about it. Think about what you're doing. So you have a book, right? You have the start of the year. You make a New Year's resolution. I'm going to read 30 books this year. So what happens automatically when you do that? You're automatically setting yourself up to think, oh, I better get reading then. So then what happens? You start your first book. And then you're like, oh, you know, yeah, let's get through this one. And you're constantly trying to read faster and faster to get to the end of a book, to then get onto the next book, to then read that one, just so that then you can complete them by the end of the year. And you end up reading so fast But by the end of the year, you've forgotten every single detail of that first book. Now, of course, even if you read slow, even if you read things back, you're not going to take in everything. But if you read slower and you really enjoy it, then you're going to take in more and you're going to retain more knowledge at the end of that year than you would if you were just whacking through them just to get through 30 books. So it really does, it is a bit of a bugbear for me that people who say, I'm going to read 30 books, I get why they're doing it. I get why they're doing it. They're doing it because they want to enhance their knowledge, they want to get, they want to get more, they want to read as much as they can. I get that, and it's a noble quest. But if you're gonna read like that, where's the enjoyment in it? I mean, where is the enjoyment in it? Reading nice and slow. I mean, I don't read. I've never read. I worked in my school library for 4 years. I only read one book in the entire time I was in there because I don't like reading. It makes weird sense. It doesn't make any sense that I was a librarian, but I just chose to do it. So I enjoyed being in there, I suppose. But no, I don't read. I've never read. So that's why I set myself the challenge of just doing this one book thing, and I'll just get through this one book. And I don't have much stamina with books because of that. But, it just makes me think, why do people do it? Why do people want to get through all these books? And, I mean, seriously, it just, I don't know. I just don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me. If you're going to read a book to try and get to the end of the book, and then start another book, then you're not really reading the book, are you? Because you're constantly trying to get to the end of the next book because you want to hit your goal. But what you've got to understand is if you really want to hit your goal conscientiously and with a real sense of achievement, you've got to really focus on what you're doing right now. You've got to focus on the book that you're reading right now. So that's why when I'm reading the books, and I am actually falling down the rabbit hole in my own trap here, because with this book in particular I'm reading at the moment, it's getting a little bit stale for me. And I'm seeing myself doing the thing that I hate. I'm thinking to myself, well, I feel like I want to get on to the next book. So, it affects us all in that way. But when I'm really trying to centre myself and think to myself, right, well, look, I know what's happening here. I'm living in the next book. I'm not living in the book I'm currently reading. So, right, I want to start living in this book again. So what I'll do is take a break for reading for a few days and then get back into it. And, I'm doing that. And, I read some this morning after a couple of days break. And I felt I connected with the book a little bit more again. And then what I'll do is I'll choose my next book and then get on with it. Now, there's no harm in choosing, having 2 or 3 books on the go at once. But what you've got to do with that, if you want to do that, you've got to still be head focused, or what's the phrase? Not knee deep. But you've got to have your head in the book that you're reading. So if it's fair, if you want to read 2 or 3 books at once, that's fair enough. But make sure that when you're reading the book, whatever book you're reading, you've got your head in that book, you're focused in that book, and you're learning from that book. Now, I've got a very unpopular opinion about fiction books. I think, now you wouldn't think I would think this because I'm eccentric and I like fantasy and I like sci-fi and stuff. But I have an unpopular opinion about fiction books, and that is that I think they are somewhat of a waste of time. Now, the only books I will ever read are non-fiction, because books to me are a source of knowledge. If you're reading a fiction book, you've wasted 2, 3, 4 hours, whatever, every few days. Mount that up over years. How much time have you wasted reading fiction books? If you had replaced them with non-fiction, imagine by the end of your life how much knowledge you'd have, instead of reading things that don't equate to any more knowledge. Now, of course, people can say I'm a hypocrite, because I watch things like Doctor Who. I watch things like, sci-fi and stuff, which is wasting time in its very essence. However, in my opinion, TV was created more as a function of entertainment to be wasted, for time to be wasted, whereas books were more created, or were more lend themselves towards something that you can benefit from intellectually. So that's just my philosophical standpoint on books. And and essentially why I do what I do when I'm reading them, and how I go about reading them. Because if I were to read them in any other way, if I was to do it in any other way, I don't think I would enjoy it as much. But anyway, I'll leave it there. So I don't know how much. What's the time? We're 49 minutes in. That's okay. Got a little bit more time left. You can gain knowledge, empathy, and understanding from fiction books. Yes, you can. You can. And I know I'm hypocritical when I say it, because I watched Featherboy last night. It's a children's TV show. It was on in 2004, and I mentioned it on my Instagram. And I saw that writer, I think it was Nikki Singer or something, the writer of that TV show. Anyway, the writer of that book that then returned into a TV show. But I picked up on a lot of key themes. For one, a very basic key theme is getting older and all the rest of it, with the woman who's played by Sheila Hancock in it. But there was a lot of themes on psychology in it. So the little boy, who was played by Thomas Sanger, guy who was in Nanny McPhee. I think he was in Nanny McPhee. The little boy, ginger hair. You probably know him. Quite famous actor, childhood actor, and he's still acting, I think, now. But anyway, he was having dreams, and I've just read that Jung book, haven't I, on Jungian psychology or analytical psychology. So, he was having these dreams, and he saw this old guy in his dreams, and he saw his mum in his dreams, and saw this or the other. And what was happening from an analytical psychological point of view through this TV show, through this character's journey, was he was integrating his hero archetype, which is essentially when you're in childhood, you overthrow the mother complex. You essentially have to slave a mother, and then find the princess or whatever, kiss the princess, and then you integrate your own anima as well as your hero archetype, because your anima is the unconscious part of the female unconscious part of the brain in the male. So when you kiss the girl, that's essentially integration of the anima, and your hero archetype is completed because you've overthrown the mother, who is symbolized as the dragon, and essentially you've grown up a little bit as well in the process by doing so. So this guy was like 12, 13 or whatever, and he's having these dreams about they're really the visions, because he came true, but they're also dreams. So he was having these dreams, and I was pinpointing all these figures, the wise old man in there, you've got the mother in there. There was actually the terrible mother archetype in one of his dreams, where she was berating him, his mum was berating him, and that was almost close to the fruition of him integrating his hero archetype. And it was just after that he managed to basically do the thing he wanted to do. So yeah, from a psychological point of view, it's very interesting. Now, as Andrew was saying, you can learn a lot about sympathy, empathy, or whatever he was saying in these fiction. You can not only learn about that, you can learn about real scientific, psychological, philosophical, whatever information. So I get that there's a lot in that, and Doctor Who's taught me a lot about, even though it's fictional, it's taught me a lot about being heroic and showing sympathy and, all this sort of stuff. But I just feel like the majority of the well-established knowledge you're going to get is from non-fiction. And therefore, it feels to me that if you're spending a lot of time, okay, maybe I was overly harsh. Maybe you spend 20-30% of your time reading non-fiction. Fiction. But if you're spending 80% of your time reading just on fiction, read some non-fiction, expand your... Now, this is only because I am someone who could resemble a logician, someone who is all about logic, someone who's all about scientific things and things like that. That's the way my brain works. Very logical, very scientific, very to the point, very black and white almost. So therefore, of course, me coming from that personality type is going to say, oh, well, fiction's crap, non-fiction's where it's at, because I can see the logic and science behind reading non-fiction, because it'll expand your knowledge, whereas fiction is just people off in some fantasy daydream world where we can't get anything done. Now, it's very, very funny, because I have that opinion, and I can keep that in my mind, I can hold that opinion in my mind, but at the same time, I absolutely love going off into my own world, being very, very introspective within my own mind, and being almost mystical, magical, or fantasist, in my own world. So it's very odd how my mind works. I've got one side of it that's very analytical, very scientific, very logical, but I can also flip quite easily to being some weird, crazy, mystic type person. And it's almost like the material meets the spiritual. So part of my brain is very material thinking, part of my brain is very spiritual thinking. You could analyze it like that. It's very, very odd. Very, very odd. And I don't know how that works. I don't know how that works, but it's weird. I don't know. Anyway, who's live tonight? I saw someone was going live. I'm not sure how I've got a degree by only reading picture books. You got a degree. Well, there you go, KLC. You must have read a load of non-fiction. Louise only reads picture books. Oh, right, you're replying to Andrew. Well, yeah, you see, no, I don't think she wouldn't have got a degree doing that, because you have to read textbooks. You have to immerse yourself in that. I wouldn't want to. You know what I've always wanted to do? Or what I might do is, I don't know if I said this a couple of weeks ago, I'm just going to read so much that I'll just get an honorary degree. I'll just be like, right, there you go. You don't need to do the assignments or whatever. You just have that. We know you've self-taught yourself. So awesome. You can just, there you go, you can just have this honorary degree. That's basically my ambition in life, is just to literally learn so much that just by proxy, I don't need to do a degree, because I've just got the knowledge there anyway. And you know what, I really do hate, and I could go on about degrees for ages, because I have so many opinions about the education system, but we're not going to get into that too much. It's a video for my philosophy channel, actually, and I'd probably expand on it a little bit, and maybe try and create a video there at some point. But no, I don't like what they teach in degrees, and I'll tell you for why. Because you have to go on what they teach you. I can't go and do a degree and learn all the stuff I want to learn. I have to sacrifice, maybe 6 months or a year of the time learning out of that 3-year degree, learning what I don't want to learn. But if I do it myself, and if I could get all the textbooks I wanted, or if I could get all the classical philosophical texts or whatever, I could get all them from online. I could learn. I could pick and choose what I want to learn, and I am going to be very egotistical here, and I am willing to bet that I could do it on my own, and I would be better than most people who have a degree in philosophy in terms of certainly a BA, because when people are self-taught, I'll tell you what happens when they're self-taught, they actually want to do it. When people do degrees, and I may have talked about this a few weeks ago, but there's this idea that they might not want to do it, they might not follow that one true path. So if they don't follow that one true path, they're just going to do the degree just to get the degree. I did talk about this last week, it's coming back to me over the week before. But they're just going to do it to get the degree, and then they're going to forget half the knowledge, So either do a degree because you really want to do a degree, or don't do a degree and just learn it. You just learn whatever you want yourself, It makes no sense. I love philosophy. I have a passion for philosophy, but I will not be as effective as an effective learner. Learning in a classroom with a load of other students, part of the time learning what I don't want to learn, than if I did it myself, You've got to learn what is in the course initially, but when you move forward into a master's or PhD, you can do your dissertations in what you want to focus on. Yeah, but I'll jive still. I'm just going to be self-taught. And then people can all come to me in 30 years' time, and I'll be a well-known, established person in some sort of field, and they'll be all like, oh, you don't have a degree? And I'll be like, yeah. But, you know, have you seen some of my hypotheses? Have you seen some of my information that I've got? Seriously, I don't need a bloody degree, you know? And again, it's this kind of egotistical superiority complex that I have in my own mind of saying, well, I don't need this, I don't need you, I can do it on my own, all that sort of stuff. But, you know. Anyway, I'm going to quickly go up and then I will leave. What did Andrew say there? I don't know what that means. Oh, who's on live tonight? Someone said we were on live at 8, didn't we? That's a hell of a lot of reading. I've got 2. I don't know what people are talking about in the chat. Is eBay finally making their listings mobile friendly automatically? I haven't a clue, sorry. I'm not a big fiction reader, Corey says. Yeah. If you want to, you know, it's your choice if you want to read fiction. I'm just trying to give you, you know, an opinion on it that comes from maybe more of an intellectual point of view in terms of actually expanding your knowledge. You know, if you want to read fiction, go for it. But I can't see it. You know, I'm like, I just can't see it. Ads, how much time have you wasted watching Bottom, the comedy show, not the body part? Yeah, I know. I've watched loads of comedy shows and stuff. I get it. Yeah, I get it. I am a I know. I don't need people to tell me I'm a hypocrite. I'm a hypocrite every bloody week. I'm a walking contradiction, for God's sake. I'm like, I say one thing at the start of an episode, and then by the end of the episode, I've completely gone in the opposite direction of what I was saying. I am complete polar opposites. You know, I'm just exactly like that. I really want to read Think and Grow Rich. Heard so many good things. Oh, I really want to read Think and Grow. Oh, right, okay. I got it. Audible while packing your orders works for me. Ooh, that's a good idea. Yeah, Audible, yeah. Broken How, Andrew. Car Boot Collectors Afternoon Ads, how's it rolling? Alright, I suppose. We're on your channel, Andrew. Oh, is it 8 PM? Yeah. I'm right back up at the chat. Chris had to go. Yeah, maybe it's 8 PM on Andrew's channel or something. Yeah, I'm like that, Corey. I've done that for quite. I used to do that. I did used to read every now and then, but I wouldn't finish a book. I'd just do a few pages of it or half of it or whatever, and then finish. You know, just not finish it, just literally put it down. So, yeah. You're also a teacher. Money Mental's a teacher. I'll give you a degree, Ads. I can accredit people on behalf of the University of Cardiff. Oh yeah, you wouldn't give me a degree. I'd have to bloody do a lot more work before you start accrediting me. As long as you want a degree in project no, I don't want a degree in project management, for God's sake. Louise is in a state of shock now that I'm also a teacher. What, you're actually a teacher? Are you actually a teacher? I didn't even realise that. Anyway, I'm going to go in a minute because we're over the hour. If you got any more questions, whack them in the chat. If you haven't, then fine, I will go. But I'll give it a couple of minutes just in case anyone else wants to whack some questions in. Got to do some editing this afternoon. Got to do some listing. Got to do... I think that's about it. Don't know. More like professor, to be fair. What, is that your full-time job? You're a professor? Really? Is that your full-time job? Really? I swear you're kidding me. I don't know. I mean, you could be, but it'd just be a surprise if you were. They have finally fixed something useful for a change. Oh, have you done the mobile thing? I don't really know. I've not looked at the whole mobile-friendly listing thing. I'm not a professor, but I do teach project management courses. Ooh, project management courses, eh? Bloody hell. Yeah, so what's that? Is that business project management or just any old project? Like, loads of different projects, because it's almost a bit vague, isn't it? That is it. I guess it must be business projects or something. Events projects, maybe. I don't know. But yeah. Anyway, I think I'll go inside. I'll let Andrew respond to that if he wants to respond to that, and then I'll go. Do enough of my courses and you'll get a degree. It's for government ads. Government. Oh. Yeah, but I don't want to do project. I don't want to do project management. I just need someone to. I literally. You know what I need? I need a master. That's what I need. Well, I've said it for so long. I don't need a master. I don't mean a master's degree. I mean a master. But I've always said. Oh no, what's the other word for him? Not a tutor. Well, no, I'm going to call it a master. You know what I'd like? I'd like someone, like a philosopher or whatever, to take me under their wing. You know what I mean? You know, like in China or Japan, you know, a Zen master or a Taoist master or whatever, or they might ordain you as their disciple or whatever, and then you're sort of their disciple for life. I'd like that, but with someone like a philosopher. That'd be cool. And I'd be pretty good, because I'm pretty good. You know, I'd be pretty good at that. I don't necessarily want a degree in it. I just want something like that, so then I could have some recognition in the field, because then they'd know, oh well, you trained under this person, and he's got X number of degrees or whatever. So he's dispensed. You know, I really like that idea in education, that one person has one master. So there's this one-to-one experience. Not to say that that student can't learn from other people, but that you always come back to that one master, essentially. That's what I like. And I know the argument for not doing it, because you might not have, that person might not have a breadth of knowledge, etc. They might not be knowledgeable in this or that or the other. But if you've got one master for one field, like you've got a master, your master trains you in philosophy, or your master trains you in psychology, then you can, you can be sure that they've got a good breadth of knowledge in that, in that sort of area. But I don't like this idea. It seems very, very factory fodder to me, where you have 50 people in a lecture hall going from the same master. Not master, professor, but I like the word master more. Can we please change professor to master? Because that is such a more cool thing, that's a cool, much better title. Master, I'm a master, But no, I would like that. That would be something that I'd like, and yeah, it just seems decent. It just seems cool, that, I like to be called master. I won't ask where you like to be called master, because that could go down a rabbit hole there. Anyway, we'll leave it there. Thank you very much for watching. And beta. What's beta? Beta? What's beta? I don't get what beta is. So I did a submissive. I am not a submissive. For God's sake. Why is everyone... I'm not... Okay, yeah, I'm a bit of submissive, but I'm not completely a submissive. I'd say half and half, Join me in 5 minutes live on my channel. I will get off then now, George, don't worry. And you get an A-star, Andrew, for achieving the inappropriate remarks. I know, isn't it? I'm not a submissive in that way. But I am a submissive in... no, not a submissive. What's the word? It's not submissive. It's... what's the word? I don't know. Introvert would be the word, maybe. I don't know. But I am more of a... I like to have a shelter. I like to have someone over me, essentially. Oh, God, that could go bad. I like to have a professional person to learn from. Okay? That's what we're going to say. I'm not going to say I like to have someone over me. Oh, God. Anyway... no, but I do like that, and I like that idea, and therefore, yes, you could say in one respect, I am a submissive in that way, but I like more just saying something like introvert or something like that. Anyway, you want someone on top of your head. No, for God's sake! Oh, God, anyway, right, actually, I have to work in this stream. Amy's working from home, upstairs, I had every intention to film some videos today. That's not going to happen at this rate. No, it isn't. Anyway, yeah, I'll go. So, see you very soon. Don't forget to like it if you like the video. We're on 12 likes. Let's get it up to 15 or something. And I will see you very soon. So, I will see you in the next one.